Hello students, welcome to our online session. Today's class we will start with our third chapter. The title given for unit 3 is linked list. This concept is something new which you have not come across in your previous semester. To get a basic idea about linked list, let us discuss the classification of data structure. If you come across the classification of data structure is divided into two types. So before entering into the classification, we will see what is data structure. So organizing the data we use in the program, we need to organize something like that. We can't use it. Okay, how we are going to store, how we are going to retrieve the information, how we are going to delete the data, all the things is taken care. So the various ways where we can organize the data, we can call it as data structure. If you could remember, variable, when I say we can store one value, array when we say we can store set of values of similar data type, structure concept when we study various data with a different data type can be stored, and pointer is a concept which stores the address of another variable. So there are various ways to store the data in through computer programming. So in this ways, the various methodology of organizing the data will be discussed in the concept of data structure. Usually data structure is divided into two types, primitive and non-primitive. In detail about this will and all would have we would have discussed in unit 1. So when it comes to primitive data structure, the data structure which is already built in, already ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ತರ data structure and all will comes under primitive data structure, like int, float, character. We know int means we can store only the whole numbers. A character means we can store only a single letter, and if it is a float we can store decimal number. So already ready-madely available data structure is there, then it comes under primitive. And not primitive is, it will be reverse of primitive. When a programmer designs a data structure and then executes, then we call it as non-primitive. It is of two types. One is called linear and another is called non-linear. Linear means sequence of data. You can remember array means you will say no, a of 0 first address, second address is a of 1, third address is a of 2, like that. Next to next sequence of data is arranged, then I call it as linear data structure. Then when it comes to non-linear, here data is not going to be arranged in sequence. Data will be here and there, and how well we take the information and produce, we call it as non-linear data structure. In linear also there are two types. One is static, another is dynamic. Static is already defined. We know what is the structure we are going to use. Those kind of structure we call it as static type. That example is array. If you could remember, array means in the beginning only we will decide int space a of 10. That means size of array is going to be only 10. 10 means how many values we can store? We can store only 10 values. What is the first address? A of 0. What is the last address? A of 9. So before only it's fixed and kept. That kind of arrangement we call it as array. Dynamic means during execution of a program, when we can arrange the data, then we call it as dynamic. In that we have three types: linked list, stack, and queues. And linear part, as we told, it's a sequence of data arranged. If a sequence of data is not arranged, then we call it as non-linear data structure. It is of two types, trees and graphs. And among all these things, for the third chapter, we will be starting with the concept called linked list, which belongs to dynamic in nature. That means we can't decide the size in the beginning. While executing, we can store 5 values also, 10 values also, 1000 value also, 10,000 value also. During execution of the program only you can decide the size, and you can keep on executing the values, inserting the data. Dynamic belongs to a data type or nature of linear, and this all comes under non-primitive data structure. So today's focus is towards a concept called linked list. Okay, this linked list concept is quite new for you people. This linked list is like one simple example is there. I think all of you remember having a relay race. relay race, if you could remember, one person will start. When the second person will start, the first person will go and hand over the stick to the second person. Then only second person will start running. When the third person will start, the second person need to go and hand over the stick to the third person. Then only third person will start. So our linked list also will be like that. So what will happen? We will have one here. Whatever data we store, no, we call it as node. Okay, in linked list, the place where I'm storing the data, I call it as node, N-O-D-E. So what will happen? This node will be divided into, depending upon the types of linked list, it will be divided into 2 or 3 parts. For this example I'm taking, it is divided into 2 parts. In one place, data will be there. Okay, data means some value, 17, 14, some information will be there. And the second part, address of the next node will be there. So address of the next node will be there. So when you are in the first node, you know the address of the second node and you can go to the second node. When you are in the second node also same information. Second node will have the address of the third node. Third node, when you go, third node will be having the address of the fourth node. So to start, see, somewhere we need to start directly. The first node means to start that we always will have a one node called head node, which will have the address of the first node. For example, consider memory address of this is 1611. So in the first head node, this is the beginning. This we call it as head. Head will have the address. So once you touch the head, head will take you to the first node. First node will take you to the second node. Second node will take you to the third node. Third node will take you to the fourth node. Like that, how many ever data you want to store, you can work. It's like your train engine from the beginning. First engine will be there. End of the engine only, first engine, first compartment will start. End of the first compartment only, second compartment will start. So who's the first thing? Engine. So engine will be the first. So here engine will be head. What is the role? Engine's work is to pull only the first bogie of the train. Engine work is to pull only the first bogie. Who will pull the second bogie? First bogie will pull the second bogie. Who will pull the third compartment? Second compartment will pull the third compartment. Able to understand? So this is the concept behind linked list. Okay. So link means, see, head is linked to the first one, first is linked to the second one, second is linked to the third one linked to the fourth one. So since it is linked to each other, we call this methodology as linked list. List means set of data are there. So it is linked list. Speciality is it up to you. First you can start storing any. It's not like an array. Array tara 10 andre 10 matra store madakagate, 100 andre 100 data matra. You can store. You start the head node, then keep on storing how much ever data you want according to your requirement. Okay, that's the benefit. So dynamically you can store the data using linked list. Hope you got an idea about linked list. We will see some more technical definition behind this, and then we'll move on to the next concept. So when the linked list is concerned, linked list is sequence of data structure. Sequence means one next. See, from the first head node, I can't jump to fourth node. Then it will become non-sequence. But here sequence. First in the second day hoga kagate, second in the third data ke hoga kagate, third in the you can go to fourth. So here we follow only the sequence order. So it is a sequence data connector which is connected via link. Link means address. Where the first node address will be there? In the head node. Where the second node address will be there? In the first node. So from the head node, I should come to the first node, then only I will know the second node address. When I come to the second node, then only I will know the third node address. So it is connected via link. So we call this concept as linked list. Each link contains a connection to another link. So every link will have the address of another link. Linked list is the second most data structure after array. So after array, the very famous data structure is linked. Practically, we can execute many logic using linked list. Following are the important I think no need of this 4. Important terms to understand the concept of linked list is, first is link. Link is each link of linked list can store a data called an element. Okay. So what here we call link is, say as I told, link will list every link I call it as a node. Each node will be divided into 2 parts. One will store the data. Okay. This data, what it will store, we call it as link. See, each link of linked list can store a data called elements. Okay, so this can be called as data or elements. Next is this place where the address of the next node is there. In case this is the last node, after that nanatra address illandre, this will be declared as null to tell the computer this is the last place I have stored my address. Linked list is over. Okay, so in the last node, what would have been there? The address won't be there, it will become null. So yavadadu node alli address null idre, it is understood that it is the last node in the linked list. A linked list contains the connection link to the first node called first. So linked list, that we call it as head node. What is linked list? We call it as a head node, which will have the connection address of the first node. So address of the first node, whatever it is there, that we call it as linked list, or we can call it as a head. Usually we prefer to call it as a head node, because head node will have the address of the first node will have the address of second node will have the address of third node. Like that it goes until it has an address. When the node has got a null address, that means linked list is that much only it can store, that is last node. Done. So this linked list can be represented in 2 ways. Not linked list concept, the way we execute linked list can be represented in 2 ways. One is static and another is dynamic. Static means we can use array concept and implement linked list. So we will be using array concept and deciding the linked list. And dynamic means we need to use the structure and pointer concept. So structure and pointer concept when we use, then we call it as dynamic way you can represent. So here structure and pointer concept will be used. So 2 ways to represent linked list will be static and dynamic. So when we start with static linked list, when it comes to static linked list, linked list, as we have discussed so far, that method only link will be maintained. If you could see this diagram, first the head node will be there. Head node will carry the information to the address of the first node. So first node, when you take, it is of 2 parts. One is called data item, another is called next. Data item will use to carry store the values, and in the next node address of the next node address will be available in the next. So this will have the this will take us to the second node. Second node also will have 2 parts. One part will use to store the data, and another part will have the address of the next node. So we are moving on to the third node. Third node also will be divided into 2 parts. Here we will be using the for data, and next will have the address of the, but here what is stored? Null. When null is stored, what is understood? It's the end of the linked list. So for this linked list, there are 3 sets of data. Okay, so this is how thing. But when I use a static linked list, we use the array concept. So we will fix the size. If you know array means we will fix int a of 100 means only 100 nodes can be created. So that's the limitation of static linked list. Since it uses the array concept, we need to fix up the size, and then based on that we can create the linked list. When it comes to dynamic representation, each node is linked dynamically. So during running of a program, you want to insert a new node, you can get inserted. So at the end of the node, it gets inserted. So memory nodes are allocated for each node as needed. This E is not required. So needed while the program is running. Nodes have two files called data and next. So as usual, node means, always remember in linked list, node means it should have two parts. What are the parts? Head part and next part. No, it's not head part. Nodes is two type. What is the thing? One is data part, another is next part. Head means the first node address will be stored in the head part. Node will contain two items only. What is the item? One is data, another is next. Next is next address. Address of the next node. Clear? So once again I repeat, node when we say it is of two parts. One is used to store data. Then what is the next? This will have the address of next node. Address of next node. So this we call it as node. So here to represent linked list dynamically, we use a structure and pointer concept. So we will display the list. So the entire thing, the node, I call it as list here. So list is of two types. One is data and the next. So here within the structure data type, we are declaring two items. One is data for storing the data here. Another is to know the address of the variable. You remember we are using pointer concept because pointer is the one which holds the address of another variable. So address of a next variable will be stored using the concept called struct list of asterisk next. Asterisk next will hold the address of a next variable. And name of this structure list we have declared it as node. Okay, what is the name we have given? Node. So within the program we will use this node and do. So there are two ways to represent linked list. One using stack. Stack when we use your linked list can be defined only with the fixed limit. Whatever is the array size, based on that only we can do. Another is dynamic representation. Dynamic means it can be represented using a structure concept. In structure, they will divide the two parts. One is for data, another is for next. Okay. The dynamic means you can, during runtime, you can keep on storing the data. So memory allocation is also done through two parts. One is static memory allocation. Another is dynamic memory allocation. Static means we used the memory is allocated for execution of the program. We call it as memory allocation. So till here, what we discussed was how linked list is represented. ಇದನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ we need space ಯಾವ ತರ allocate ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ. Memory allocation means how we are going to allocate the memory. If it is a static representation, static memory allocation, during compile time, when you are compiling only, memory will be allocated, and it is of two types. Memory will be fixed in nature. So like since it uses the array concept, it will be represented like this. So when it comes to static memory allocation, it uses an array concept. So while compiling the program, only memory will be allocated, and it uses the size, fixed size. According to the size mentioned, it will allocate. Dynamic means during runtime, program execute madvaga, it will allocate the space. So some of the functions we use to allocate a space will be malloc. I think these concepts we have studied in last semester concepts also. Malloc is to allocate a single block of requested memory during runtime. Runtime andre program execute madvaga memory allocation possible with the help of malloc, and multiple block of memory is needed means then we can go for calloc. When you need to reallocate, already allocate ಮಾಡಿರುವುದನ್ನು reallocate ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ you can go for calloc. Free means when you want to you finish with your linked list program, you have completed all the spaces allocated has to be emptied, correct? That can be done with the help of free. ನಮ್ಮ system allu have you seen recycle bin? So it will delete all the deleted files which is stored. Like in our house we have dustbin. What is the use of dustbin? To store all the kachidas, and we will recycle it. Same way, to whatever we have used memory in the linked list that has to be freed out, we can use a function called free. This is about memory allocation in linked list. So in memory allocation itself, there is a concept called garbage collection. ಡಸ್ಟ್ಬಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಡಸ್ಟ್ಬಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ what will happen? Lot of dust, house will look like a dustbin only. So what we will do every 1 day or 2 days, we need to put it in that lorry which comes. So same way, whatever we accumulate using free space has to be sent to garbage collection. That concept we call it as a garbage collection. Is a dynamic approach to automatically memory manage. So we are not going to do manually. Whatever unwanted space is there, that will be automatically managed. So why we are studying itara memory alla yake ottadvi andre, so linked list use ಮಾಡುವಾಗ it uses lot of space. ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಜಾಗ ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಅನದರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So that it uses lot of place. So we need to know how we are going to manage the data, memory manage the data in the using stack. So when we use stack, we should come across all these things. So the primary purpose of garbage collection is to reduce memory leak. So memory unnecessary agi full agvadanu we can avoid. And when we are using these kind of linked list program, automatic garbage collection option is possible. Okay, there are functions available. That free method, if you use and all, it will remove the unwanted space allocated for the linked list. Okay, that is the purpose of garbage collection. If you could remember today's session, we started with what is called structure of data structure. We just revised, and then we entered into what is called linked list. Then we saw representation of linked list. Eradu type ide, static, dynamic. Then we saw representation of memory allocation. Okay, memory allocations ee tara linked list use ಮಾಡುವಾಗ memory ಯಾವ ತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. That is also two type. One is static, another is dynamic. And also in this representation there is a concept called garbage collection, which is help us to free the unused memory spaces. Clear? Next we will move on to advantages of linked list. So when we use this kind of linked list, okay, what is the benefit? Some benefit. Practically there should be a benefit, then only we can use in our computer programs, no? So here it is dynamic in nature, which allocates the memory when required. See, for example, for an array, I am allocating 100 space and leaving it off. But I'm using only 3 space. How much wastage? 997 space is wasted. Okay. But in linked list, 3 space bekandre very 3 space matra use agate. 90 space bekandre only 90 space only will be used. So when we dynamically allocate memory, wastage of space can be reduced. Okay. Insertion and deletion operation can be easily implemented. So using this concept, insertion and deletion can also be done easily. Using this concept, linked list concept, we can execute a concept called stack and queues, which we will study as a next chapter. Okay, linked list reduce the access time. So the speed of getting the information and coming, it reduces, because for head node, when you find the head node will have the first node address, first node will have the second node address, second node will have the third node address, third node will have the fourth node. So the access time of information using linked list is reduced. Okay, any concept you take, if there is an advantage, there also be disadvantages also. Disadvantage of linked list is memory is wasted, as pointer require memory for storage. So here linked list andrene you should remember node. Node is divided into 2 parts. One is called data, another is for address of a next node. So ondondu time next node address store madi we waste lot of memory space. No elements can be accessed randomly. It has to access sequentially. Randomly andre I can't directly jump to 4th record. I want to go to 4th record. 4th node means how I have to go. First I should start with head in the first node will have the second node address, second node will have the third node address, third node will have the fourth node address. Like that only I can go. So there we can't do random, we can do only for sequential memory. Reverse traversing is difficult in linked list. Possible, we can't say it is not possible. There are concepts where you can do reverse traversing. Reverse traversing means 4th in the third in the second to atara barvadu, but it is little difficult. So these are some of the disadvantages of linked list. So the linked list concept and all, where we can use practically means these kind of linked lists are used to implement stack, queues, graphs. These are all concepts of data structure. There and all we can use. And linked list can insert an element in the beginning and also in the end. And also one more feature is, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಹೊಸ data insert ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, it's not that you need to enter into the end. You can insert into the beginning also, you can insert, last also you can insert, middle also you can insert. Like that you have a provision. Okay. Linked list, we don't know the size in advance. So one more major thing, for this reason only, if you don't know what would be the size of your data, then we can go for a concept called linked list, where size of the data is not. So when any data is inserted, keep on the size get expanded. Okay, in that situation you can go for linked list. So today's session we will stop with this concept. So today's class we started with the concept of linked list. What is linked list means? A node which has the data and also address of the next node. This concept we call it as linked list. A linked list is of represented in two ways. One, we can represent using static method, another using dynamic. Static means it uses the array concept, dynamic means it uses the structure concept. Same way, ಈ linked list use ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ತರ memory allocate ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it is also of two type. One is static memory allocation, another is dynamic memory allocation. Then we discuss the applications, then we discuss the advantages, disadvantages of linked list. Okay, go through the session. Hope you will understand this concept. We will meet in our next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.